Islam Moors.
That's another religious belief. Okay? So anytime you're going against a religious belief or a religious cult like that, and it's not the fact that I was going against them, I was just strictly debunking them, but that hurt them. So, yeah, I mean, that's why you saw people jump, because I was actually encouraging people to do their own research to find out what's really going on. And once they did that, I mean, now look at that Pan-African community. Just take a look at them.
Yep.
Once again, I don't have to brag. I don't have to take credit for anything. My work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not trying to say I'm the first of nothing, but I can say that I single-handedly took up. And I told them it was going to hurt them. That's the reason why I didn't ever drop that money into debating, still to this day. But, you know, and once again, and those other brothers that are considering themselves Moors, every time I have a conversation with a brother like that on a one-on-one, they change their mindset, they change the way they're thinking, they change the way they look at life. Because, yeah, when you're considering yourself those type of people, you're considering yourself a foreigner, straight up, from Africa. Yeah, from Africa.
Yeah,
not America, from Africa.
They know this.
So that means that.
Right? When we say we're Moors, we're considering ourselves a people from Africa. So that means we're foreigners.
Hey, Islam, because on that note too, Africa, what he saying? What he saying? Thor, Asgard ain't no place. It's the people. So if that's what we want to rock, then Africa ain't us a place. It's a people. And didn't they find pieces of quote unquote Africa under Alabama, under Florida, under everything else? Stop the BS. I just had to throw that in there.
Islam. Right, so that debunks that. Right? That debunks that, the whole Africa and Moors, and that means we're not indigenous. If Africa was part of America, then that would mean Africa is also America. Because you didn't find any America under Africa. How come you didn't find any America under Africa? You found Africa under America.
And shit, even when they said, if you look up Afro in certain dictionaries, if you look up Afro, it's more, it means natural. So it's making reference to the natural aspect of things. So when they were saying Afro-American, they've been known to tell the truth right in front of our faces. But again, they know our people don't read. However, that being said, if Afro means natural, and they were calling us Afro-Americans, so they were really telling us we were natural Americans without really saying it. You see what I'm saying? So,
right. And again, just want to put it on the record that this is not some, you know what I mean, we're mad at people and we're making videos about them or whatever. We have 2018 receipt that these people snitched on our channel and got us a copyright strike on YouTube, which means you can't do certain things with your YouTube channel. Purposely went and did this. When there's a phone number on the thing, you can call and leave a message. Somebody's going to call you back. There's an email on there. You can email. Somebody's going to send you a message back. But they're not going to take that option. They're going to go snitch to YouTube. And then in 2021, come around and start telling you about Aboriginal and Indigenous and you're not Moors and all this, as if they're not traitors and they don't work for the other side, trying to keep you away from this information. That's their duty. Keep you on everything else. Keep you on everything. Keep you on everything to the point where they have their declaration. Aboriginal and Indigenous guys have their declaration that they got there putting out, you could declare that you're Aboriginal Indigenous.
Turban and fez on.
But you're not Moors. Sash and all that, but you're not Moors.
And everything.
How you dressing like Moors and you're not Moors? Let's put this one out here. Neo-Arabic aesthetics and architecture have been studied in both Europe and the US, but less so in Latin America. The field study carried out here revealed a vast Orientalist heritage throughout the geography of the region, encompassing a wide range of architectural types. While its elements shares with the more general Orientalist aesthetic developed in the Northern Europe, Latin America's Alhambraism largely results from the contributions of architects who both trained and traveled in Europe and whose designs on occasion reflected the territorial surroundings that inspired them. We must also acknowledge the influences of architectural journals as well as literature such as Washington Irving's Tales of Alhambra. All these factors contributing to a Latin American Orientalist architecture without rigid requirements, but rather adaptive to conditions, personal needs, lifestyles, and local climate. There are significant absent architectures. It is to this end that this cataloging of the buildings offers an understanding of the global romantic significance of the Alhambra, how its legacy is maintained on the other side of the Atlantic, and how the aesthetic of what is known as Alhambramiso was adapted and flourished in a wide range of geographical areas and today forms part of the landscape of Latin American identity. Donated by the Spanish community to Tandil, Argentina, on the occasion of the town's centennial in 1923, reference point date, right, 1923, Argentina. The Moorish castle shows horseshoe arches that also reference the great mosque at Cordoba. 1923, Moorish castle in Argentina. Spanish club in Chile. It was in the 1900 Universal Exhibition in Paris, however, that the presence of Moorish architecture had greatest repercussions. Although with pavilions of Moorish architecture, although with pavilions of obvious Egyptian, Ottoman, and Persian inspiration, and the construction of the Palais d'Elexity, which its oriental interior highlights included, Andalusian in the time of the Moors, a space that featured elements of the Alhambra, the Sacramento district Granada, and places and the Gerville of Seville. Built in 1884 to represent Mexico at the World Cotton and Industry Centennial Exhibition held in New Orleans, the kiosk of Santa Maria la Ribera was called at the time the Mexican Alhambra. It was not some Indian stuff. You ever wonder? In this sense, we could mention buildings such as the Spanish Club in Chile, designed and built in 1904 by Miguel Retemano in the Moorish style and featuring ornate chromatic decor in its interior. (1922) Alhambra Miso style smoker's room in Panama City. In Buenos Aires in 1912, the architect Enrique Falkers designed the Spanish Club, the basement of which features the spectacular Alhambra room, 360-degree panoramic vision of Granada. In 1913, in Argentina, the Spanish Mutual Benefit Association was erected in a Moorish style. Another reference to the link between Neo-Arabic architecture styles found in Spanish community in Peru was during the 1921 country's centennial. In 1923, during the centennial celebrations in Argentina, the Spanish community donated a Moorish castle to the town. Why are all these South American places not Aboriginal and Indigenous Indians or whatever? How come they're Moorish? Why is Mexican Moorish? How come it's not Cherokee or whatever if those are the Indigenous? All their buildings are Moorish. And you're questioning Moors, not the people snitching to YouTube on Moors. But you're questioning Moors though. But the people who snitch to YouTube on Moors, oh, you got no questions for them. They could go out here, make crazy claims, talking about Moors, and you're riding with them. The first Moorish-style building in Latin America is known as the Palace of the Alhambra, the work of architect Manuel Aldunet. Not all these residences echoed the Moorish style. Throughout, on occasion, this being reserved for just some of the rooms, as in the case of the Palacio Portales, 1912 to 1927 in Bolivia, which was the work of Simón Patino, a businessman known as the King of Tin, which features a billiards room in Moorish style. Don't let these people play you. Snitching. Snitching.
Go snitch to the same people they swear they're against. They swear.
They swear they're against them. But they're going to snitch to them on Moors.
What Paul Mooney say? Mass gonna get y'all.
But you're not indigenous to the science, period. No matter how you try to flip it, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Hold on. Moorish roots. You got to get out my chat room calling sisters a bitch. Now, all right, I'm done. Hold on, dang. I got this dude. You will not talk to my sister that way. You're out. You're out. You will not call my sister no fat bitch and all that. This is what I mean. See, we're making them angry because they have an agenda, and that agenda is to get as many people to become national under their paperwork, under their treaty, and it's just not happening. And it's making them angry.
But hold on, Sister Becky, because that's not even the case with them. They can't even nationalize themselves as a Moor. If that was the case, then you can see Moor being able to be marked in the U.S. Census as one of the categories that you pick.
Correct.
It's that simple. Are Moors supposed to have dual citizenship if they're here? That means that they should be carrying a nationality ID. Not no membership card, a nationality ID. Not no membership card. I'm going to say this again. Not a membership card, a nationality ID. That's a big difference. Now, if they want to claim that they got recognition by the government, the only way they got recognition by the government is by way of Morocco recognizing them, once again, as a nation. I'm not talking about the United States of America, not America. We're talking about the government. So that was the government recognizing another government.
Correct.
Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Facts.
So no matter, once again, no matter how they try to spin it, that's exactly what happened.
And they really trying to spin it.
I'm a very good researcher, and I would love for you guys to consider yourselves Moors. If you would love for me to debate your top guy, go get him.
Right? Who's your top guy? Who's your top guy to put? I'm gonna put Jamal Bey. I'll put Jamal against Dane Calloway. That's what I'm gonna put in the hat. Since he wants to debate Morris for free, debate him. That would be a good one to see. Jamal Bey versus Dane Calloway. So start putting the word out, Morris. Let's get this word out.
I sure will.
I want to see Jamal Bey versus, because you can't go with Taj Tariq Bey because he's retired.
Yeah,
he's retired. So you're not gonna get him. You're not gonna get C. Freemanel, Delbert Blair, none of those ones, because they can't talk for themselves right now. Who else is on the top of it? You're not gonna get Mother Raz because that's Mother. You're definitely not gonna get Mother Anita because she don't even care. Right? You're definitely not gonna get Asir because that's just not even, he only debates his equals and you're not his equal. Right? I'm not saying that you're Jamal's equal either. But that's a Freshmore with clout. That's a Freshmore with clout. He went to court, beat cases, all that stuff. So he talked one-on-one, face-to-face with FBI and CIA and all that. Right? He has receipts. He has receipts. So you're gonna do it for free? Let's just play it again just to make sure that he said what he said.
Oh, that's for my the Moacus Indians, their bowls are Turkish. So for all the Indian guys, obviously the term Turkish all refer to their appearance. So what do Turks look like? To the casual observer, that's not even like nobody trained, would remind him of composite bowls they had seen in the hands of the Moors in Spain. These are the same people?
All the same people.
Asiatic? We already know that. You ever seen an Asiatic lily? It's dark as charcoal. Just putting that out there.
All these Aboriginals are Moors. They're playing you. They're playing you. And no, it's not going to be me because they snitched on us. So there's a conflict of interest for us to debate because we would just cuss them out. It's not going to be a debate. We don't care about any information. You're getting cussed out every chance we get to your face because you're a traitor. But people want hoopla and you want to see Dane Calloway versus somebody, I throw Jamal Bay's name in the hat.
Always with the verses. Always.
That's what they love. Verses. That's what I put in that. And again, It's not like he could be bothered. But I'll put that name in the hat. That would be one to see.
Hell, I thought yeah, our our views differ at times. But hell, shit, I put the brother Sabir in the hat because for real, you know, and it's all it's all love because you know, hey, that brother, despite what people might think, that brother, you know, that more been putting in work, you know, it's just, you know, hey, whatever, you know, and hey, as a fellow Gemini, you know, hell, I love I can't say I don't love this do the Hulk smash too. Oh, look at that turban in Mexico, boy. What are these people talking about?
What are they talking about?
Fuck these people talking about, man. Huh.
What are they talking about?
With they got the naga on the front and everything. That's Mexico.
Why is it there?
History. Because then why they have to do it just for the fact that then they'll have to start addressing they'll start have to address real issues then. So let's go beat up on let's go attempt to beat up on Moors and cause more confusion. Yep. Because then that was look, we doing a dab back then. Look at that. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't that what they say?
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. Dab on their ass. Look.
Mark in the U.S. Census is one of the categories that you pick.
Correct.
It's that simple. It's that simple. A Moor is supposed to have dual citizenship if they're here. That means that they should be carrying a nationality ID. Not no membership card, a nationality ID. Not no membership card. I'm going to say this again. Not a membership card, a nationality ID. There's a big difference. Now, if they want to claim that they got recognition by the government, the only way they got recognition by the government is by way of Morocco recognizing them, once again, as a nation. I'm not talking about the United States of America, not America. We're talking about the government. So that was the government recognizing another government.
Correct.
Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Facts.
So no matter how they try to spin it, that's exactly what happened.
And they really trying to spin
it. I'm a very good researcher, and I would love for you guys to consider yourselves Moors. If you would love for me to debate your top guy, go get him. I'll do it for free.
Yeah, well, Samir won't do it for free. Samir definitely is not going to do it for free. Definitely not. Who's free that would beat up on him? Yeah, I think that, like, because if I just pull Moors from the phone or something, these dudes are gonna get. It's not gonna be fun. People aren't gonna have fun. It's not gonna be a good versus. I think Jamal would be the perfect versus against Dane Calloway.
Yeah, because I still have some growing to do because I'm ready to start punching people in the mouth. Like, I still what the prophet said, know your what the prophet said, know your higher and lower self. I guess I'm lower self because I'm tired of fucking around with these people. Excuse my language.
Forget the word on that one. Roger C. Dane Calloway said it. He'll debate anybody who's on the echelon of the Moorish whatever. As the people, I think we would say Jamal is qualified. He's qualified. He's somebody that's up there in the realm of the Moors. There's many Moors that are up there. But to handpick one to say versus Dane Calloway, we're putting that out there because Dane wants it.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah, that's what he said, yo. That's what he's trying.
Yeah,
He said,
I don't keep
brilliant.
up, but I guess I have to keep an eye on there. Did you see? I did peep out. They had the sister Yafa Bay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I seen them trying to push her. Yeah.
Yeah, heavy, 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 heavy. He was just taking it, and it was just an attempt. It was really for me. It seemed like it was an attempt to. Is it for me? It seemed like an attempt to try to. I'm gonna try to see what I can get. It was a fishing expedition based on let me see what I can dig out of her
Yeah, yeah.
from the
Right.
inside to see what I can use against, as
Yeah.
opposed to anything that's tangible that hey we can go out and use. And basically, he looked like he wanted some permission to. He looked like he wanted permission to, is to say in a sense, uh, mm, he wanted he was trying to get the inside scoop, so he had a reason to say, "Oh well, look, Dr. Yafa Bay, this sister said A, B, and C, and so it ain't
Yeah.
gotta be right." And so I
Yeah.
think that it was, I think that it was almost, it was an injustice to the fact that I hope that as brilliant as that sister was, that if things weren't done prematurely, just to I realize that we want to get out certain information, and she even spoke on the fact herself that she didn't want really to deal with the public like that, because so many of our brothers and sisters have put themselves out there and opened themselves up to scrutiny in the interest of helping our people, and it's turned around on them. We have good intentions, but what they say, good intentions pay. What is that? The road to hell is paved with
With
good
good
intentions.
intentions. Yeah.
And so
Straight up.
I just hope that she um I don't know, just from my perspective, I think that it was that was a fishing expedition
Yeah.
under the guise of we want remedy. And not to say that some brothers and sisters don't want remedy, but they want to be, like my father would always say, you can't be halfway grown. So
Yeah.
if you leave home, you always welcome home. But if you leave home and come back, you got to pay rent in this motherfucker. And so he was one of them that's you can't be halfway. You can't be halfway grown, as far as he's concerned. And he was concerned. Rest his soul. So I just, that's just one thing I noticed. I don't think that he was really, in really trying to get knowledge like that, or they want to get the knowledge. They want to get enough knowledge to. They want to try to freak it to where, oh, okay, I want to apply this, but then I don't want to apply this because then I'll have to be Moorish, and so we have to be Moorish, and so
Right. That's the part. That's the part that makes them the traitor.
mm-hmm.
Because you brought a bay on. Why don't you just ask her how to be a bay? You brought a bay on your thing as Aboriginal and Indigenous people, and you're talking about everything else except, hey, how are you a bay? Like, because we're Aboriginal and Indigenous, and if we're gonna have a platform and bring you on, and you're a bay, obviously you got something to say.
Right.
So if the Moors have something to say, how come the Aboriginals, like Dane Calloway, got something to say about Moors?
And they always, oh, my fault.
No, go ahead, Moore.
It is, and what about since they so worried about what the de facto government spent, then why don't they read the annexation of Texas or Congressional Globe? They're talking about, oh, Morocco is the only recognition that Moors get. Not that we are even searching for anybody. We're not
to recognize
anybody's approval.
Yeah.
Not that
Say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
I said, not that Moors are even looking for anybody else's approval, but if they are so gung-ho on getting on what the government approves of, why don't they read the Congressional Globe and the annexation of Texas and what they say about the ancient Mauritanian races and the Moorish people and their Indian associates who the land property belongs to? That's not word for word. However, if they're so gung-ho, why don't they read the annexation of Texas? These people are full of shit, and that's where, it's easy for me not to say something to you, because then, if you're so well studied, you so well studied, and then you know you don't pull up these things. You know, annexation, that's simple. That's one. What about the House resolutions? And like I said, we're not even giving credence to that necessarily. We're just saying that, okay, if that's the road you want to go, then don't take that road and then, oh, well, I don't want to look at that sign because then I'm going to have to reevaluate my position. And, you know, people are traitors. And, you know, not too much to say. You know, you just well researched, and then you still got shit to say. Then you're insulting me, and then you know,
he's not done. Hold on, I want you to beat him up some more. Hold on, we might even put your name in that.
Go get your top guy. Go get I'm talking about. He better have rank. Go get him. You can settle this if you really want to. I'm all for it.
There it is. There it is. So, on that note, tribe. We just gonna keep moving. I'm not interested. I'm not. I'm done. I tried. I made an attempt. I did. I can't do it. Can't do it. I'm done.
And really, before we end, the reason I say highest ranking member is that another thing is that these guys gotta understand. And no disrespect to these people, okay? No disrespect. But when they're adding the L and the L and the A and stuff like that, and their surnames, you're disconnecting yourself automatically to this land. Why? Because those surnames are Turkish surnames. Yeah, number one. No, that's not.
No,
that's funny. It's the truth.
I agree. Glenn has already read that, but you backing it up again.
No. Didn't the Moor just show you in the book that he just had right there that there was Turkish on this side of the hemisphere?
Turbans and fez is up.
If there's Turkish on this side of the hemisphere, documented in books, not what some nigger says on YouTube or IGLive, in books, which means nobody refuted it. And it's not just in books, it's in books of physical objects, letting you know that you can't limit this thing to just Africa only when we talk about Moors. No way. You can't. We just gave you all the different places here that have a Moorish Orientalist idea, whether it's the clothes, whether it's the buildings, whether it's the how come it's not Algonquin and all that? Why is it Moorish?
Oh, it is. Boy, look. That's how you know these people don't read. They don't read. They don't read. Me fucked up. Go in.
Since he's there, just pull this thing up just because we want you to know everybody agreed to put your name in the hat. Jamal versus Dade Calloway. We're gonna do the verses. And we're just gonna set it up and let him smash him.
Tell him I'll be the reference too. Cause you know we can't do it all at once. I do the reference. I love it. See, I always saw myself. See, everybody want to be the head sometimes, and I can look at myself and just the way I am. I think in my former life I might have been in an advisory role. I feel comfortable in the advisory role. I don't necessarily have to be out front in the midst. You know, active behind what they say, true power live behind the throne.
Yeah.
I don't need that. I don't need to be smiling and shit on camera and all the BS. Go in. I'm gonna find it. You said you mentioned the Algonquin. I gotta go in on that just for a second. We gotta show reference because that's what separates us from the rest of these traders.
Receipts. You gotta show your receipts.
Traders.
Talking about it. You know how to discharge some stuff? Show me your stuff that you did it. Show me that. Show me some European doing it and tell me let's do this. Oh yeah, somebody brought up Galloway. Where is this thing? Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this one there. Metaphysical meaning of Elohim, because they think El is Turkish and all this. Elohim, God, the original mind in creative action. El means the strong and ever-sustaining one. And Allah, to swear or formulate by the power of the word. Elohim thus represents the universal principle of being that designed all creation. Following entry, El Shaddai. All right. What you got there? I have to go closer.
More.
Yeah, it's still blurry. What's that, Turk? What are you looking at?
Or Middle English, from Middle French, from Latin, Moorish, probably of Berber origin, a member of a dark-skinned people of quote-unquote mixed Arab-Berber ancestry inhabiting ancient Mauritania. Is that over here? Ancient Mauritania, and conquered Spain in the 8th century AD. Moroccan, so Moor is Moroccan too, right? Berber, Muslim, especially Mormon. Hell, the Mormons don't even. That's why they call themselves Jesus Latter-day Saints. The Moors waking up. They got man, Moro, archaic, black Moro, one of group of people mixed Indian, white, and Negro ancestry in central Delaware. Compared Nantucket, a goldfish similar to the French tail, but velvety black. So Moors don't have nothing to do. Moors don't have anything to do. They don't have anything to do, even in the connotative presentments in the goddamn dictionary. And you can put it together. And it said, but these people swear they're researchers, though. You know? And that's where I'll be want to slap the fuck out of these people. I'm not even playing like for real. Like that, you know, because our people are hurting out here, man. Our people have been hurting and dying, and not even just from the physical the physical abuse, you know, or dirty water, dirty food, fake food, you know, this is so we get hit. And what I think it was Benjamin Franklin, 1795, the Observations of Mankind, where he said that good government, quote unquote, must be like a polypus, which is a species of octopus, and they're hitting us from every angle, and so we can't afford to be fucking around with these people like that, because you know I can honestly say based on what I read, the ancestors would have killed these people. They'd have killed these people here faster than the so-called white men. Our ancestors that was really putting in that work, these people would have been disappeared a long time ago. And we keep giving quarter to these sellouts and traders as if they aren't the problem, and people know it too. And that's why I'm not going to indulge people in their ignorance, but at the same time, we still have to. There's already such a narrative out here that we can't afford to sit back and continue to let other people control the narrative, which is why we're in the position, which is part of the reason why we're in the position that we are now, especially not having access or not having the having the resources to maintain our position in the media consistently. So it's really difficult for me to and I hopefully that'll come with time. That's something that I'm working on. However, I haven't reached there yet. And yeah, I do get angry because why they bullshitting and continue to throw dirt on our name. Our people are still getting died. And even from a logical standpoint, we've tried everything else.
Yeah.
We tried everything else. So
tried talking with them.
If the self-preservation mechanism is working within that particular vessel, you would think that even if there's a doubt in your mind as to the validity of this divine or national movement, you would think from a self-preservation point of view that, hell, we tried everything else. Why not try that? We're going to do everything, by any means necessary. They like to quote El Malik, but then when it comes to getting to the necessary shit, then, that's a little too thick for me, man. I'm going to just stick with this shit, because it's comfortable. And our people are we're too comfortable. We're comfortable. We're comfortable in our oppression, and we've gotten, people have gotten to the point where it's easier to be Negro. It's easier to be British subject. It's easier to be those things as opposed to being more, because then we have a foundation. However, we're going to have to actually put work in to manifest the changes that we want to see. And it's the Indian guys that were probably sitting up under the trees taking siestas 5 and 6 times a day. Those motherfuckers, they want to go back to 5 or 6 siestas a day without having to put in any work, which is why we're in the fucking position.
I agree.
Yeah. We can find this information out, guys. This is really simple, honestly, but there's just certain people that just want to hold on to that because of what they were taught religiously, okay, through the cult that was created at the top of the 1900s with Timothy Drew. Don't disrespect the Timothy Drew, but keep in mind Timothy Drew is not the end-all be-all. Neither is they.
Who's Timothy Drew? What is he talking about? What?
Hey, let these people go talk to them people that fuck with Muhammad like that and see if let them disrespect Muhammad like that. Huh? Let them talk about Muhammad and shit like that and see what happens. These people miss no disrespect. It's funny how no disrespect right before they disrespect you. I'm not going for the bullshit. Don't be. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but fuck your mama. Nah, nigga. Nah.
Hell no.
What to say? Hey, and really, they talking about mother. You talking about the nation, then you talking about mother. And when I came up, mom was the red button. Oh yeah, mom. That's the red button. It's time to throw hands. I don't know. That just no disrespect.
No disrespect, but Timothy Drew.
Right.
Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, just to put it on the record.
And even let's just say Islam is. Let's just say that is. Let's just say that. Look at all nations. Look at most nation states. Most of them, if you look up most nation states, don't they have let's just say a religion, even though necessarily not all the people are followers of that particular creed. If you look up any nation state, then most time they have a religion that is attached to it.
Yep. Of course they do. And then also too, the misconcept that Noble Drew Ali brought us some religion. He didn't bring us something.
He brought us back our pre-existing customs and culture into that, and just for the fact that no one's I'd never fucking heard of Noble Drew Ali. I'd never heard of him before. Why we heard about everybody else, everything else, except Noble Drew Ali. Everything. Everybody's been thrown in front of our people, except Noble Drew Ali.
And then, if they do throw him out to people, they're gonna do it just like how he did, with no disrespect.
Some religious guy.
No disrespect, but some religious guy brought these guys some cult. Some religious guy brought these guys some cults, and now they're wearing fezzes like a cult.
And they still talking. Then they still talk black shit though, too. Oh, black Indians or whatever. What are you talking about? Olive colored, olive green, olivaceous, dusky or brownish yellow. 1613, Purchase Pilgrim. 1614, the tawny Moor, black Negro, olive colored American should, with the whiter European, become one sheepfold under one great shepherd. Oh, talking about the Hindu women and crowds of olive-colored children. And that's Oxford English Dictionary for you suckers that don't read.
Dictionary.
Because they watch the feeds. They watch the feeds.
They snitch. We know they watch the feeds because they snitch. We know they're watching us because they were able to snitch on a video that we used one of their videos that wasn't monetized by us.
I really don't think they necessarily want to go there with us because we know they don't. If we really wanted to beat them up with some, they know we're versed in the law, and so they got to go to the middleman, which is why they on the mainland. I've heard you speak about it multiple times in reference to, hey, they supposed to be still be the colonies, but it's the same people that's talking shit down that are looking at the fact that, oh, well, they're not recognized by such and such, or well, our father didn't say that. And so, there's the same people that ran and were giving away their daughters to the man, and signing dummy treaties and dummy deals off to the side when they don't even know, not even know.
To be on a reserve today.
Right.
Then or to be Negro black color today.
Mm-hmm. For the benefit.
One of the reserve Moors sent me some videos of where the chiefs live. The chiefs live in a mansion.
3 or 4 BMWs.
The chief is no different than Creflo Dollar and all them people. Got the big pinky ring and all that.
No, he don't. You
people are struggling.
Pull up the pinky ring. Are you serious? Pull up the pinky ring. I want to see. Pull up the pinky. Like that though. That's not like pimping.
Yo, they had the mansions, bro. Like mansion. Like when you see the house that the chiefs right now, 2021, more drove by today in the truck with somebody or something. Hey, we're just gonna take some pictures of all these houses.
Dilapidated
these houses.
And then
paved driveway. 3-floor stuff. This is the chief of the tribes out there.
Meanwhile, the people from the tribe are living in cans and trailers, and they're drunk and on drugs, and just living in deplorable conditions.
Crazy. Deplorable because of their own. Not because some European did something.
And what's one thing I touched? He touched on in the video with Dr. Yaffa. He's saying how they just took some shit. Well, they took it, but they had to have permission to come over here and do business. They had to have permission. They weren't just like doing the whole. I see some of that falling into the victim. The victim narrative. It's still the same with even them. Yeah, you saying you Aboriginal and Indigenous, but then you still rolling with the victim narrative instead of the self-help narrative that more are coming with. The self-help narrative. We're not looking for people to necessarily like us, even though that is a human thing. Everybody wants to be liked, but wanting to be liked and not caring if people like you or not is that I don't know. That's kind of a different road, but I don't know. Oh, I got it.
You guys to find out the truth. You gotta stop listening to everybody. You gotta know for yourself. Not believe. You gotta know. There's a big difference. That's what I'm saying.
Only Moors talk like that. Oh, they just hijack everything.
That's just a nutshell, bro. And it's the same. That's the shit I'm on. I get a light. That's the same shit I'm on, and I just can't no more. They're talking about this consolidation and reaching arm. Nah, I'm good. Look, we 1,508 members. That's enough. We could go on and move on. Anybody else gonna do something? Start your own nation. Start your own tribe. Work with your own folks. We got enough on our end. So now somebody else build a corporation. Contact the people. Get them to believe in you. Get them to understand your movement. Get them to understand your purpose. We already straight on our end with our people, and we're gonna keep moving. We're good. We're good.
Oh, yeah, they're straight.
We're good. We don't need to reach hands to other tribes and other nations. We good. We're gonna keep moving. If you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do, just do it. Just do it. Start your own nation.
Where they do that at?
Where they do that at?
Where they do that at? Where?
Just start your own nation. Just start your own nation.
No protocol, no nothing.
You think that I'm selling you up? Why would they tell you start your own nation if they're part of a nation already? Why would they say start your own nation if they're part of a nation?
Look at the sister, boy. Look at the Moabite, boy. Are you kidding me? Don't that look straight from Africa? Don't that look? No, that's right here. That's right here, baby. That's right here.
You're playing games with you.
Get your own people to like you, believing in you, and trusting you, and to keep it moving. That's it. I'm done. And it's not that my head is big. It's not A1. And I already text him this. It's not that my head is big. Because I have a...
Right, this is a sellout. How are they still calling Ahanu L A1? He dropped A1. He's Ahanu L. Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moor. Why is he L if he's not Moor? L is Elohim. That's not Turkish or nothing like that.
And we ain't talking about no steak sauce.
Right?
And from the beginning, just from that brother, we've built, and just his ability to be willing to accept, accept the fact that, hey, regardless of how I feel about it, the data proves that we've been called multiple things over the years. However, you can't say that we haven't been deemed Moors over the years in different capacities. Meaning, you know, somebody when somebody was calling, you know, our people Moors, they might have not been in the mindset of Islamic, just from the pure mindset of that we're dark-skinned people. So even from a fundamental level, and Moors have expounded on the fact that, you know, the high priest of I knew, and that Moor is not only a proper noun, but it's a verb too. And we also know verbs and as far as in reference to language and how language works, a verb that's one of the truest, and it's in the truest sense of any word. That is, we all know that we can look at the fact that, okay, if verbs, let's put it like this: when you get a parking ticket, you never got a parked ticket, you always got a parking ticket. So having that ing, that's a verb. So, or any verb relating to any type of verb, we know that's where the action is.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is used, and that's used in these municipalities to trap our people and generate income. We know that. So that's a prime example of how, how is more a proper noun, but it's a verb too. I mean, this is no different than the fact we've been called by several names. Moors is the last name on the books. It's not to say that we haven't been called Indians. It's not that we haven't been called
right.
Native Americans. It's not that we haven't been these other things. It's not that we're not the ancient Britons. It's not that we're not the ancient Sidonians.
Yeah,
right.
We engaged with all people, and all people looked at us a different way. But the last name, as you said, is Moor. Everybody knows all across the world, except these weirdos in North America and the islands that want to be Negro, black, colored, and all this stuff. And we're hearing that stuff even trickle into the UK now. They want to be black over there.
Oh. They wear a simple wrapper around the waist and through the legs with the end of the cloth hanging out behind. It resembles the Hindu dhoti. Most wear large earplugs and all dress their hair in distinctive fashion reminiscent of the severe Egyptian hairdress. Mexico.
Why are they dressing like Egyptians in Mexico? I'm talking about dressing like and all those people. I'm dressing like them. Powwow Moors.
Yeah, the earplugs. Who do that?
Some European goth thing or whatever. Skater guys, makeup, putting rings in your ears. Oh yeah? Really? Oh yeah, the Moors in the chat said, what book is that?
Mexico, A History and Art.
History and Art.
Yep.
Platform. It's my heart that's big, bro. Not my head, my heart. And my eyes are open. My heart is very big.
See, and then that's their problem. That their eyes are just open. Drew Ali said eyes wide open.